Hello, everybody. Geron Scates here on 91.1 FM, the Great White Buffalo, and the voice of Western Texas College. Hey, this is the start of our preseason looks at some of our Western Texas College athletic teams, and we're going to start off with a sport that has really grown internationally in popularity, but has been a staple here at Western Texas College for years. And we're with the head golf coach, Bronc Fleming. And first of all, Coach Fleming, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here this morning.
So, Coach Fleming, you're beginning, do I understand it right, your third year here as head coach?
As head coach, yep, 7th year here, total 3rd year as head coach.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead, and before we start talking about the upcoming year, because of course you have a fall and a spring schedule, let's take a quick recap at last year. Last year you ended up ranked 8th in the nation and an 11th place finish, at the NJCAA National Championships for the men's squad, and that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, it was. Last year, as a whole, in my time here at Western Texas, it was the best year in terms of success that we've probably had. Obviously, we had one bad round there at the national championship, and unfortunately in our sport, everybody asks you how you did at the national championship, kind of not how you did on the year, but I think our ranking shows that. We were actually in the top 4 or 5 there for 2 days. There was just a handful of strokes between 1st to 8th. It was probably the toughest year ever. Played our 3rd round, just terrible there. Still had one boy in contention to win a national championship individually, but no, as a year, it was great. On the men's side, we had a win at the Thunderbird. They're hosted by New Mexico Junior College, beating Midland, Odessa, New Mexico Junior College, several other top 10 ranked teams. We had 2 second-place finishes at big tournaments. I don't think we finished till nationals. I don't believe we finished out of the top 5 anywhere all year. And you know, golf's one of those sports where you don't get many wins. You lose more than you win, but anytime in the whack jack for sure in Region 5, if you're finished in the top 5, you're having some success. So it was a great year.
Exactly. I mean, it's I've been impressed at the level of golf that we have here, and especially compared nationally, the level of golf, and even watching some video here and there, some television golf every once in a while. I was surprised at the number of internationally ranked players from Texas. I mean, really solid pros, and then you see that kind of drift all the way through, and you get players too from all over the world. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, we bring them in from all over the world, which we try to keep on both sides. The school allows us to have 5 international players on men's and the women's side. On the men's side, we're usually right at half and half. We try to carry about 10 players, so 5 of those being international, 5 generally from Texas. We get occasionally, we've had kids come from as far as Wisconsin, different places. But actually, yeah, just talking about the strength of the competition. Actually, this morning there at the Open, the British Open, one of the boys that's in the tie for the lead, he actually was a Danish kid that played at Ranger here within our region. So, it just shows the competition level that we're against week to week. The Whack Jack's definitely known in baseball and basketball, and it's no different in golf. This last year, every Whack Jack team was at the national championship in golf, so in the men's side.
And that's incredible.
Yeah, that's there's no weeks off.
Yeah.
No weeks off when we go play. And we go play against those very good teams every week. We want to know where we're at.
And to give a shout out to the women's team as well, of course, last year you had a freshman from Sweden that qualified for the women's national championship, and that's no easy feat at all there.
No, for sure. We were in a bit of a rebuild the last couple years. When I took over the program, we had a lot of sophomores. It's tough to recruit women's golfers right now. The programs are growing. There's more schools adding women's golf, but that doesn't mean there's more golfers playing golf. But yeah, Wilda Yarestam did a great job for us last year. She qualified as an individual. Also, we had another girl that's going to be returning sophomore, Brooke On, who was just a couple shots out. She actually probably would have qualified our last round of the district championship was rained out. They didn't get to play.
Oh, wow.
So she was just a handful of shots. Heartbreaking there. But yeah, we had 4 girls last year that came in, and they got a win at the Chicken Express there at hosted by Wayland Baptist as a team. Shout out to Tammy for hauling them for us this year, or being the coach that day. Most undefeated, most successful women's golf coach, I guess you could say. But yeah, while we were looking for an assistant coach, but yeah, we're excited, especially on the women's. So we're excited all the way around. But we'll have 7 players on the roster on the women's side this time coming in, bringing in 3 freshmen that we're just as high on as we are these last ones. And so I dare to say Western Texas is back in contention on the women's side for sure, as well as the men's.
Coach, I would say for anybody that might be listening, whether they're the parent of a golfer or they're a golfer themselves that are still at the high school level, what would your advice be to them to prepare to have an opportunity to play at the collegiate level? And of course, this level is very high, but just speaking maybe more in general terms, what do they need to really work on or concentrate on?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. Obviously we're in West Texas, and the perception of junior college golf, I think most of it, let's be real. The perception of a community college, nobody even thinks our education's the same, much less our quality of athletics. But especially coming from that difference, the biggest difference when you jump from that high school or junior career into college is mainly the length of the golf course. That's one of the things. Also, playing high school or UIL golf, their rules are completely different. Just example, you hit one out of bounds, you get to drop it. You don't have to replay the shot. 9-stroke limits, things like that. It makes the game, it almost sets them up for failure a little bit, because some of the scores that they're shooting, they think they're on track because they see our scores and they think, oh, I've shot 75. When 75 is our bad days, theirs are their good days. But just keeping working at it. Obviously, length of the game anymore off the tee box, driver distances is huge anymore. The saying used to be forever. I'm sure, Dr. Scates, you heard it growing up playing golf or around. People have always said drive for show, putt for dough.
Right.
Well, interesting fact, last year on the PGA Tour, the guys that led the statistics in driving made like billions of dollars a year, and the guys that led the statistics in putting were down towards just in the millions per year. So, being able to be strong.
Well, that's deflating to me a little bit, Coach.
It kind of changes the game as a whole.
It does.
Really does. But still got to be able to putt. We still got to get the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
But it is truly an athlete's game now. If you are not an athlete, you will not be a very successful college golfer, or even, any kind of, even in high school as a whole.
So there's the physical preparation side, obviously, swing and contact and all those kinds of good things. But at the same time, there's the physical athletic side of it that you have to be willing to put a time into.
Yep, absolutely. And, and then you just throw in the factor that every tournament we play, with the exception of the national championship, one day we will play 36 holes, and that is 36 holes continuous. We're up at 5 in the morning, going to the golf course to get ready. They play 18. We grab a lunch. They hand me their scorecard, and we're back out again. There's no stopping in between. They're getting their sandwich on the go, playing another 18. When I used to wear a Whoop or a Fitbit and things, we're getting, even as a coach, I'm getting 40,000 steps a day out there coaching. These players are out there for 10, 12 hours, all conditions, all weather. If it's raining a little bit all day without lightning, guess what? We're playing. If it's 105, guess what? We're playing. So, being tough, and it's a job. I would encourage any high school player wanting to play at the next level is to reach out and just, see what it takes, because it's a job. It's a full time, and then we got to throw in 12 to 15 hours of class. We've got to work in our workout times for them to keep athletes like we talked about. Then they've got to study for classes like yours so they can go make the grades, because I am here for sure. I'm huge on we've got to make grades. Being at a junior college, biggest part of my job is sending those kids to the 4-year schools. And once they hit a certain level in golf, they're all wanted by the next school. Then they're looking at grades. They want to know who those kids are. And plus, that's crazy, but it's true. There's more money for a an incoming junior at a school in scholarship-wise as far as academic than there is for incoming freshmen. There's lots of these schools we get close to fulls for a lot of our kids going into those 4 years when only 40 to 50% of that's golf scholarship. The rest of that's academic.
Well, I know your squad too. They get represented from academic All-American status, and I just think that speaks to the quality, not only of your coaching and your program, and I think it speaks to the quality of the young men and women we get.
Yeah, and I tell them that from the word go. Hey, if you just want to come, especially on the international kids, if you're just coming over here looking for a place to play golf, I'm not your school. We're going to make grades. We're going to be good people. Actually last year, the men's team, we're waiting on the results for this year. They come out any day, but last year's men's team, that 23-24, it's our 24-25 team, 23-24 team, they were actually the academic national champions for NJCAA on the golf side. Yeah. So that's highest GPA in the country while still having a quality golf team. You can't just go make 4.0s and not make nationals and get that award. So,
and that's something that really there's something of pride and you can hang your hat on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're going to be pretty close this time. And still having top 10 top finishes at nationals means that their quality and they'll work hard. So,
well, I know the schedule, folks. Obviously, you can look on the website at wtc.edu. Go to the athletic link, and you can check up on the schedules. As of this morning, and this changes, you ask Coach, it changes all the time. The men start out September 6th and 7th at Andrews College at the Andrews College AM at the Andrews County Golf Course in Andrews, Texas. And then they're at the Waco River Classic, Bear Ridge Golf Club in Waco, Texas. And then on to the links at Sierra Blanca in Ruidoso, New Mexico. The women starting out the 15th and 16th at the Waco River Classic, the Cottonwood Creek Golf Club, and then Inn of the Mountain Gods in Mescalero, New Mexico, and then Rockwind Community Links in Hobbs, New Mexico. So, Coach, you got some wind chill time coming.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the the jokes I make all the time. I spent all my previous life before coaching out chasing stock show animals and driving to the Midwest and back, and I didn't know all that rodeo days and stock show days were preparing me to drive a van. But it's awesome. We're ready to get rolling. We'll start bringing our kids back in first week of August. We bring in 7 to 10 days before school starts. We've still got testing and all that stuff to get done for them, and we'll get started. Our official start date for NJCAA is August 9th. And
okay.
So that's the day we can start practicing. So we bring them in pretty close to that. And then once we get everybody cleared and get their physicals done, we hit the ground rolling. And we're really excited for this season. I'm excited on the men's side. We have 2 returners that are freshmen coming back. We ended up losing some kids. We had a couple had some D1 opportunities after this year, so they left after their freshman year to go play at the next level. And hey, we bring them here to go to the next level. So sometimes we don't get to graduate them, unfortunately. But bringing in 7 freshmen that I'm excited about, and we have a transfer coming that actually played on the national qualifying team for Central Alabama. Transferring in, really liked our program, and saw the year we had, and he'd reached out. Their international deal sets up a little different in Alabama. They don't have scholarships for the international players, and with us losing a couple kids to D1 and then graduating 3 or 4 key players, we were able to, have him actually just not long ago. And like I said, on the women, we'll have 3 incoming freshmen, 4 returners, and really excited. I've also got an assistant coach hired that I'm really excited about in James Boyd. Call him JT if y'all see him around the golf course. He actually played 5 years at Midwestern State. He spent this last year as the grad assistant coach there at Midwestern State. Took the women to their national championship. Lots of things we're excited about. He's also getting back to the athletic side of things. He's also his major through school has been strength and conditioning, and so we're really excited about getting the kids a little stronger. And they may not like Tuesdays and Thursdays getting up at 6 every morning. We hadn't done that in the past as much, but it's college golf. It's like a job, so we'll just have them ready, and they'll be fully awake when they hit that 8 o'clock class.
I was going to say, Coach, if they walk in with a grumpy face on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can forgive them because I'll know why.
Yeah.
And so,
No, nobody's ever left the gym and felt worse, so they'll
Yeah.
be ready to go. I think it'll help us on grades and everything.
That's
That'll wake
great,
'em
and
up,
we
so.
enjoy having the kids in class. They're good students and good kids, and it makes things more enjoyable for professors. Trust me, and I appreciate the travel time. I remember when my boys were little and we were doing baseball diamonds in the Midwest, and every cow pasture you could stick 4 bases on, and we were at all of them. So God bless you there. So thanks, Coach, for joining us, Coach Bronc Fleming, everybody, the head coach for the Westerner, Lady Westerner golf program out here. And we wish you and your assistant, Coach Boyd, all the best in the world, and looking forward to catching up with you.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Scates.
All right. Thanks for listening. That was Coach Bronc Fleming, head coach for our golf program out here, and exciting days ahead and to build on past successes. Well, we hope you enjoyed this just as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And you just keep it locked right here to 91.1 FM, the Great White Buffalo, and the voice of Western Texas College.